Yo, what's going on, Lakers Nation? Welcome back to Los Angeles Lakers News Top, your number one source for updates, rumors, and deep dives about the purple and gold. Before we jump into today's discussion, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our daily breakdowns. Trust me, you're going to want to stick around for this one, because we're talking about a name that's been floating under the radar, but could quietly be the type of bet that pays off big for the Lakers' future. Forget Maxi Kleber. Forget the other mid-tier free agents being floated around. The player I believe the Lakers should take a serious look at for their last two-way contract spot is none other than Olivier Maxence Prosper, better known simply as Omax. Yeah, that's right. A 23-year-old forward with a ton of raw talent, crazy athletic measurables, and just enough flashes in his game to make you pause and think, maybe this guy really could work in Los Angeles. So, who exactly is Omax? Standing 6'8", with a ridiculous 7'1" wingspan and a 41-inch vertical leap, Prosper is built like the prototype of today's NBA wing. He was the 24th pick in the 2023 NBA draft, a selection that initially drew intrigue because of his physical tools, defensive potential, and flashes of shooting touch. At only 23 years old, he's still very much at the beginning of his professional career. And yet, the debate rages, is he just another raw athlete who'll bounce around the league, or could he be one of those late-blooming forwards who finds the perfect system and flourishes? To really understand Omax, you have to rewind to his college days at Marquette. That's where his game began to take real shape. In his final season with the Golden Eagles, Prosper averaged 12 points and 5 rebounds per game while hitting 35% of his shots from beyond the arc. Those numbers don't jump off the page, but context matters. Marquette wasn't running plays through him constantly. He had to carve out his role, and he did so by being efficient, defending multiple positions, and hitting just enough shots to make defenses respect him. That 35% from three is especially important, because it showed the foundation of a workable jumper. Combine that with his defensive versatility, and it's no surprise his draft stock rose significantly leading into 2023. Fast forward to the NBA, and reality has been a little harsher. Prosper hasn't gotten much burn in Dallas. Over his brief stint with the Mavericks, his career averages sit at about 3.5 points and 2.2 rebounds per game, on 40% shooting from the field and only 26% from three. Those numbers look rough, and to casual observers, they reinforce the idea that Prosper might not belong in a rotation yet. Some Mavs fans even go as far as to call him trash, dismissing his potential outright. But I think that critique misses the bigger picture. Omax is still extremely raw, still learning the pro game, and hasn't had consistent minutes or the developmental patience he needs to grow. It's worth remembering that the NBA is littered with examples of guys who looked shaky early on but eventually blossomed. One of the most relevant comparisons for Lakers fans is Trevor Ariza. If you look back at Ariza's first few years, his stats weren't impressive. He bounced around, he struggled with his shot, and he wasn't close to the polished 3-and-D forward he eventually became. But when the Lakers gave him time, development, and a defined role, Ariza turned into a key piece of a championship team. Prosper could absolutely follow that trajectory, given the right system and coaching staff. And that's where the Lakers come in. Let's be real, this roster needs athleticism, youth, and defensive wings more than anything right now. Prosper checks those boxes. He's got the body to switch on to guards and forwards, the motor to run in transition, and the bounce to be a lob threat that fits perfectly alongside a playmaker like LeBron James or an aggressive downhill guard like D'Angelo Russell. Even if his fundamentals are still rough around the edges, the Lakers don't need him to be perfect. They need him to be disruptive defensively, sprint the floor, and make the occasional open three. That's a very achievable role for him to grow into. And if you think his offense is completely non-existent, think again. Despite the weak averages, Prosper has had some eye-catching performances that hint at untapped potential. Against the Wizards, for example, he exploded for 20 points, showing not just dunks and transition buckets, but confidence in his jumper as well. He's had other nights with 15 or 16 points, proving that when given the chance, he can find ways to put the ball in the hoop. These are not empty stats. They're glimpses of what he could be if someone invests in him long-term. But let's not forget where Prosper's real bread and butter lies: defense. Clips have surfaced of him sticking to high-level scorers like Zach LaVine and Anthony Edwards. Using his length, quick feet, and relentless motor, Prosper has shown he can contest shots, disrupt drives, and make life difficult for players who thrive on isolation. He's not yet a lockdown defender, but he's already demonstrated the instincts and physical traits that could blossom into elite defensive ability with proper coaching. And then there's the athleticism. My goodness, the athleticism. Highlight reels of Prosper are filled with jaw-dropping dunks, putback slams, chase-down blocks, and transition finishes that leave fans shaking their heads. In a league that constantly values explosive, two-way wings, it's hard not to see the upside in a guy like this. For a Lakers team that sometimes struggles with energy and transition scoring, a young player who can inject instant life into a game is exactly what the doctor ordered. The beauty of this idea is that the investment is basically risk-free. Signing Prosper to a two-way contract or parking him in the G League for development doesn't hurt the Lakers in any way. If it works out, you've got a potential rotation wing who fits the modern NBA perfectly. If it doesn't, no harm, no foul. You move on. This is the type of low-risk, high-reward move that smart franchises make, taking chances on athletic forwards with tools, giving them a runway to grow, and hoping one clicks. So when you boil it all down, the question becomes, why not? Why not take a shot on a 23-year-old with a 7 feet 1 inch wingspan, a 41-inch vertical, flashes of shooting, and proven defensive chops against elite talent? The Lakers have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Maybe Omax never pans out. Or maybe, just maybe, he finds his footing in LA, grows under the tutelage of veterans like LeBron and AD, and becomes one of those stories fans look back on years later as a turning point. I'll close with this: should the Lakers live long and prosper? At the end of the day, it's a decision that doesn't cost much, but could pay huge dividends down the road. And that's why this conversation matters. Now I want to hear from you, Lakers Nation. Do you think Omax is worth the gamble? Would you give him a two-way deal and see what happens? Or do you think the Lakers should use that final roster spot on a more proven veteran? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I always love reading what you have to say. And as always, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our upcoming Lakers content. This off-season is far from over, and trust me, we've got plenty more big discussions coming your way. Until next time, stay locked in, stay hopeful, and remember, in Los Angeles, it's always championship or bust. Here's a crucial insight for you: diving into financial education can significantly elevate your quality of life. In the realm of finance, take the time to explore bonds and stocks, with a special emphasis on real estate investment trusts, REITs. These investments have the potential to generate passive income. Approach this journey with diligence and opt for reputable investment brokerages globally. By doing so, you'll be laying a solid foundation for a more secure and prosperous future.